In this edition of Word Battle, we're going to be examining the difference between the words dissatisfied and unsatisfied. Where does the confusion arise? Well, the words dissatisfied and unsatisfied share several commonalities. First and foremost, they share the same root word, which is satisfied, or satisfied in this context. In addition, they have prefixes that indicate negation. The prefixes in question are dis, which means not, but also opposite, and un, which means without or lacking. It's important to consider here that simply because something is lacking something does not make it opposed to that thing that's being discussed, in this case being satisfied. So dis is opposite of being satisfied, where un is not being satisfied. Still confusing? Yes. However, the two words have distinctly different meanings, and we're going to get into that so that you'll have a clear understanding of when to use each. What is that difference? Dissatisfied means to be unhappy or displeased with something. The opposite of satisfied in this context, to be satisfied with something, is to not like something. Unsatisfied means not to have enough of something. So perhaps you had a wonderful meal, but you're unsatisfied because you want more Timbits. Example of being dissatisfied? I might say that I was dissatisfied with the selection of donuts. Now, in this context, it would mean that I don't like the options that they have. Maybe they just had the coconut one and they had the old-fashioned plain, or they had the honey dip, or they had the one with all those little bits of whatever on them. Anyways, whatever it is, I might not like the options that they have, and they might have 50 different kinds, but if I don't like any of the options, then I am dissatisfied with the options. In contrast, I might say that I was unsatisfied with the selection of donuts. Maybe I went in wanting to get a dozen donuts, but they only had 3 kinds, and I might have liked all 3 kinds. The honey cruller is amazing. The sour cream glaze is amazing. Who doesn't love a good Boston cream? But where's the apple fritters? And more importantly, where are the old school apple fritters they used to have? I'm sure in this context, you understand it's not that we don't like the options that they have, it's that they don't have enough options to satisfy us. And for the younger listeners, I can tell you, as an old man back in the day, you'd go into a Tim Hortons and they'd have like at least 20 different kinds of donuts, probably 30 different kinds of donuts made on site that were fresh. And you'd have over a dozen of each kind. So you could pick and choose this amazing collection of a dozen donuts. Alas, we have peaked as a civilization and we no longer have all you can eat pizza at Pizza Hut or freshly made donuts at Tim Hortons. Another example, I was dissatisfied with the coffee at Tim Hortons because their coffee, if we're being honest, just tastes like hot brown water. That's a little bitter. In this case, I don't like the taste of it. It's not that there's not enough of it, it's that I don't like the flavor. Inversely, I might say I was unsatisfied with the coffee. Perhaps I ordered a small and I thought it would satiate my need for caffeine, and I didn't end up with enough. Perhaps in this context, I enjoyed the flavor, but I didn't have enough of the coffee. So I was unsatisfied, meaning I want more. Quick summary. Though similar, dissatisfied and unsatisfied have distinct and different meanings. Use dissatisfied when you don't like or are displeased with something. Inversely, you'll use unsatisfied when you have an insufficient amount of something that you might very well like. Hopefully, that clarifies the distinction between dissatisfied and unsatisfied and when you should use each. However, should you have any questions, just drop them in the comments section below and we'll be sure to get to them as soon as we can. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.